What's up guys? Happy New Year. This is the first video of my channel. It's snowing for the first time for the year. And today we'll be making Char Siu Empanadas. I know, sounds pretty interesting. I don't know if anyone's ever made it before. I mean, I'm sure someone has, because if Reddit's taught me anything, I've never had an original idea or experience. But we're gonna get experimental with it today. I've never actually made Char Siu or empanada before. I'm hoping that my Chinese heritage will carry me with the Char Siu, but with the empanadas, I guess it's just another type of dumpling, right? Okay, let's get started. So one of the great things about cooking is that you don't have to use any set measurements for your ingredients. I mean, typically I stray a bit from a lot of the recipes I've used in the past. I'll still post the list of ingredients. I think molasses is typically used for Char Siu, but we don't have any. So I'll be using honey instead, but let's see if I can edit this list. So we're starting off with about 3 pounds of pork butt from Costco. So here we've got our marinated pork. So we're gonna set that in the fridge for about like 8 to 10 hours. We've got a lot of chores to do, especially with the snow. So that'll keep me occupied. Make sure you set some marinade to the side just so you can like brush the meat with the sauce while it's cooking. Still got about an hour for this Char Siu mixture to marinate. So we're gonna get started with our empanadas. Got about 2.5 cups of flour. We're gonna go in with a stick of cubed butter. We're just gonna mix all this by hand. So after the butter, add about a 1/4 cup of ice cold water. Our ice machine is broken, so I had to literally use a bag of water and freeze that. And then add 1 egg. And if you have a food processor, it'll be a lot easier just to use that, but I don't, so I'll just be mixing this by hand. Okay, we've got our empanada dough finished, and we're gonna wrap that and put that in the fridge. We've got the Char Siu ready. We line this pan with foil and then also put some water just to prevent burning from the marinade. And we're gonna put this in the oven at about 475 for 10 minutes and then drop the heat to about like 375, I think. Just continue flipping and keeping an eye on this. So a little story time. My interest in cooking really started during quarantine, so like 2020. I was still in high school and all our classes had switched online. And during my free time during then, since there wasn't much to do, it mainly consisted of like watching MasterChef, cooking videos, especially like Gordon Ramsay. And I tried replicating a lot of those recipes during class too. I had to like wiggle the mouse every 5 minutes just to show that I'm still alive. Just kidding, I paid attention. I mean, yeah, I started cooking a lot during that time, and it did slow down a bit after I started college. Now I'm just trying to get back into it, try new things, and try to perfect some old things, but hope you guys can enjoy and come along this journey with me. But I think we can now check on the pork. Okay, so the pork's been roasting for about 25 minutes now, and we're just gonna go ahead and flip them. And we're gonna roast it for another about 10 minutes or so. Now pork should be cooked to about 145 pork. That's gonna go in for about another 10 minutes. So our pork is done roasting and cooking. This is what it looks like right now. So we're gonna chop that up into small cubes, throw it around in some more marinade, and then put that in the empanada dough. So we have our pork diced up, and I also made a little sauce. I know it looks a little gross. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty gross. We added some shallots and cooked those down, and then after that was cooked down, we added soy sauce, sugar, sesame oil, oyster sauce, 5 spice powder, white pepper, and after that cooked over for a bit, we added chicken broth and flour to thicken up the sauce. I know it looks kind of gross, but it tastes like tasao, I guess. So we're gonna add the pork to that and then hopefully stuff the empanadas with that. So we have our tasao incorporated in the sauce. It tastes pretty good, if I say so myself. So we've rolled out the empanada dough and cut out 4 pieces. They look a little funky just because I don't have a cookie cutter, so I had to use a bowl and improvise a bit. So if you have a cookie cutter, it'd be a lot easier. Put some of the pork filling in and applied some beaten egg around the edges just so it seals a bit better. Okay, so here we have the folded empanadas, and we also applied beaten egg to the top as well to give it a bit of a glossy look. These are a bit darker than typical empanadas because I use whole wheat flour. And for the pork mixture, I also did not add any food coloring, the red food coloring that's usually signature to the dish. Hopefully, these turn out just as good. Okay, and then now we're gonna put it in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees. So here we have the final empanadas. They opened up a bit, so I needed to pinch a bit harder, but you know, we're still learning. Finally, for the taste test. So we got a pretty good crust on the bottom. Show you the inside. Pretty good. Oh, some filling fell out, but let's give it a taste test. Tastes really good. Definitely think you should give it a try. Definitely think I can work on this, perfect it a bit more, but it's pretty good. Empanada dough is a bit too flaky. It's really good. Overall review, I mean, I think the flavor combos work really well. I mean, the char siu and the empanadas weren't like amazing. I mean, that's kind of my fault, but I think the combo definitely works. Although personally, I do prefer char siu in like a more fluffy bun type vehicle vessel. I mean, hey, give it a try. If you really like it, great. If you don't, you didn't watch this video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Let me know if you want to see me cook anything or you want to see anything else included in these videos. I mean, happy to take your input for any future videos.